Listen, there's a steel cage rematch with you and Jeff Hardy on the Best Damn Wrestling event, period. I know that might not make a lot of sense, but let me just catch you up. Here in America on Fox Sports Net, we had a show that was the #1 show on Fox Sports for a long time called the Best Damn Sports Show, period. And it was hosted by Chris Rose, and they had John Sally and some other rotating guests like John Kruk. It was a great show, maybe ahead of its time. You see shows like that 24/7 now on all the different ESPNs. But this was maybe one of the first ones with that sort of
for sure
living room style set and approach and dialogue and conversation.
Is it MSA? Wait, is it Tom Arnold?
Yeah, Tom Arnold was there. Yeah, big part of it.
Well, and that to me always made okay. So it's not just all a talking head and former jocks.
Trying to do some comedy in there too.
I thought it broke the mold. That Fox Sports, when you kind of go back and really look at the history of it, they've broke the mold and they do it better than anybody.
So they ran a special for you guys. Now, this is important because, and I think this gets lost in history. You know, these days people are saying, oh, AEW Collision is just a terrible time slot. It's Saturday night during prime time. People aren't going to be doing that. They have a life. They've got things to do. Well, how's a weekday in the afternoon? Say around, I don't know, 3:30? That's what TNA had here, and they were damn happy to have it. I'll have you know. Tell Jeff Jarrett back then, you want to get off of Fox Sports Net on a weekday afternoon and get prime time live on TBS, he'd have lined them up, boy. He'd have lined them up. I'm saying all that to say, when you do get a special for TNA on Fox Sports Network, and it's called Best Damn Wrestling Event, period, that's a cool deal. So the second show main event is Jeff Hardy versus Jeff Jarrett in a cage match. So we've seen him in a ladder match, but now we're going to see him in a cage match. Hardy does a swanton off the top of the cage. Is that enough to beat Jeff Jarrett? Well, what do you think?
Hell no.
This whole promotion is a vehicle for him to get himself over. So what he does is he takes Jeff Hardy's own little necklace, bink, and that's enough. Down goes Jeff Hardy, domes him with his own necklace. Jeff Jarrett, by God, as if you had any doubt, he wins. And that's not the story. The swanton off the cage should have been enough, but that's not it. The crowd went into business for themselves, is the phrase they like to use in wrestling. They were not with the plan here, man. They are all over Jeff Hardy. They're booing him bad to the point where you have to use crowd sweetener just to drown it out. This is all according to the Observer. And what I can't get my head around is, why are they so anti-Jeff Hardy? Is it because he's a quote-unquote WWE guy and they want the homegrowns? Or what's going on with this crowd, dude? Everybody loves Jeff Hardy. How do they not?
Wow. Look, I got to go back in the that's a good research question for our research team. We need to ask some firsthand account of folks in the creative room, maybe folks in the production house. I thought you were going to talk about the Best Damn Sports Show. I just thought it was cool as we were, because you pointed out to me the most important aspect of it all is that we're a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Tony Khan watched this show, but it's funny how a lot of wrestling fans found it on Friday afternoons on regional sports networks. But people were, even us going into it, we're like, okay, can we establish some ratings? Because we know we eventually want to get paid for our product. And the only way we're going to get paid for it is if we can establish ratings. And they assured us, yes, we'll be able to measure ratings. And we started popping numbers on Fridays. But before our year was up or whatever, they came and, we would love to do a special. It was a really, really, really big deal because that was the show on that network. Yes, they had all kinds of, if you're in Atlanta, you got to watch the Braves. And if you're, because it's, okay, let me back up even further. People who don't really, this generation understand. Fox Sports at this time was compiled of gosh, I'm always miss this up. 12, 18, 14, whatever it was, regional sports networks.
Yep.
If you're in each region, you carried the local or regional. There was Ohio, there was Midwest, there was Texas, there was
we had Fox Sports South. You and I did.
Yeah, which was Braves
Yeah.
and Grizzlies basketball. But I mean, it just kind of the region. So for us to clear for us to clear 1 hour nationwide, how'd you end up on Fridays? Well, you don't really have baseball games on Friday afternoons. You got them on Friday evenings. You don't really have that was the only way that they could say we can clear you for 52 weeks on Friday afternoons. Because people are like, how did y'all end up with that time slot? Our kind of biggest, I can't say biggest or only, but what is, because wrestling is consistency. I tell folks to this day, I had a conversation 3 months ago with a guy in India. I'm like, consistency. This is not, it's just not your ordinary average kind of program. It's consistency that you build characters, and it just happens over time. So that's how we ended up on Friday. But once we got in there and we got to kind of pop some numbers, they came and said, hey, how can we do Best Damn Wrestling Show or a special? We were super fired up for the opportunity because it was a piece of validation from a network that, hey, you guys are doing okay or better than okay. And so we want to do a special out of this. It was big. Back to your question about Hardy. Conrad, I can't think for the life of me, but I saw recently on our, can't even say Twitter, on X, if you will, the night Hogan debuted, and I think he was burying folks, and they turned their back on him. So the TNA faithful in Orlando were very, very faithful, and they loved their own. They didn't love me, but that's why I'm trying to think, why were they booing Jeff? Obviously it's for that. I can't think of any other reason other than they didn't like the WWE folks in their house.